Welcome to AR7 once again, guys. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. This is a new heavyweight Sunday video for you guys about an altcoin gem on Solana, a Web3 social token, Blockasset, the name of the token, 100x moon mission for the next bull cycle. Let's get started. So guys, after the fantastic success starting this YouTube channel, I'm honored to have my first video, which is in a partnership with the amazing Blockasset team. Big shout out to them. That was a lot of fun and a lot of honor working together on this video with the Blockasset team. So let's get started about the very fundamentals of Blockasset, what it really is and what does it want to bring to the world. So Blockasset is a new cryptocurrency that has a revolutionary way for fans and athletes to interact and connect with each other in ways that were not possible before. Now, in the past decade, all the really social interactions were dominated by companies like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, who are centralized entities, and actually they own the data of everything that's going on their platform and not the user. Web3 is going to be the sort of the opposite of that. The users and everybody inside the platform are going to use their own data. The athletes are going to own their own data, their own token, and they're going to be responsible for everything they want to do. And this is basically going to be like their own stock, really, the tokens that they're going to have. So the fans and the athletes would be able to interact and benefit from one another with the power of athlete tokens and NFTs and the access to DeFi that Blockasset will be able to provide. Now, for example, you can have an athlete like Liverpool star Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is going to have his own token. And this token is going to be really his own currency, as we've mentioned, his own stock. And he'll be able to do whatever he wants with it. And as a fan, you'll be able to acquire this currency and to buy really special, unique things over here that otherwise you can't really do in Web 2. And you'll be able to really interact with the athlete directly or with some other super fans directly. And this could be also like a gated community, and you can't really have like trolling going on there. So the athlete tokenization allows fans to connect with athletes in a way that is mutually beneficial to both. As fans become stakeholders in the athlete stock/token ecosystem, a partnership forms between fans and athletes, bonding them together towards their collective success. This is the next big thing, guys. This is the Web3 revolution. Athlete tokens are a way to organize fan communities. They create a reward system and incentivization to both the athlete and the fan to give drive to drive growth by being a good community member and creating value for everyone involved. So the utilities by buying the athlete token can include things like athlete experience, so fans can purchase unique experience and directly from the athlete with the token, like meet and greets, signed shirts, online AMAs, or watch parties and things like that. They can also even do governance related to the stock/currency by of the athlete. Fans with athlete tokens can decide what utility and experience they want from an athlete. And also they can even help the athlete with content creation. No more content that's produced by sporting conglomerates. Fans can vote on and directly produce the athlete's content that they want to see. You can even have their super fan communities. Fans can access gated communities, as we've mentioned, to chat with other super fans and athletes themselves. And even curated content, right? No more flicking through various social media pages for athlete updates. All right, so right now athletes have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, so many different like platforms, and on Blockasset you can have just everything in one place. And even some performance bonuses. Fans are rewarded for their loyalty with various gifts and airdrops when their tokenized athlete celebrates a specific victory or milestone. So as we've mentioned, you're growing together with the athlete and you're kind of enjoying the success together with the athlete. You're helping the athlete helps you. And we can also mention the athlete benefits for that Blockasset is creating. Athlete brand monetization, token and NFT sales and resales value, which means that basically any big activity that happens on the NFT of the athlete or the token of the athlete, some percentage will go to the athlete. So the more success and the more activity is happening around the athlete token, the athlete will be more and more successful. At one with their fans. Unique interaction and understanding of their fan community via governance and superfan chat rooms. Even think about it, even when the athlete will retire, they'll have like post-retirement opportunities. Athletes can take their token and athlete hub and experiences wherever they want and benefit beyond the retirement, right? Now, this last part is also pretty nice for the athlete side because they're gonna have, as we've mentioned, a gated community for super fans. Athletes can communicate with supportive fans without fear of abuse. So because you're gonna need to have fans who buy a currency or buy an NFT and invest from themselves to be part of this new ecosystem with the athlete that they like. They're basically will not gonna have any trolls because a troll would have to buy a currency and to support the athlete and then to troll him, so it wouldn't make any sense. And that's why you're gonna have basically really real fans and real ecosystem of athlete with fans that really like the athlete. Okay guys, so one of the cool things is that, you know, Solana is actually one of the, basically Solana together with Ethereum is really the two most major ecosystems of NFT projects in crypto. And Blockasset was actually one of the very first NFT projects on Solana, starting way back in the spring or summer of 2021. Another pretty good thing about Blockasset is that it's actually the highest grossing sports NFT collection ever, and we're gonna dive deep a little bit more in this video why anything that's related to NFTs for the sports world, this is currently the #1 project in the world by a huge margin. And they already work with lots of top athletes in the world, even though it's a really early stage and still many people kind of don't really know about Web3 and about NFTs, and many people are really in the very beginning of learning about it, including athletes and including celebrities. But even now, look at the list they already have, and this is not really a final list, this is just the list that is public, and there are still many athletes that are actually not public yet. But we already have here, guys, like possibly a future GOAT of the MMA, Khamzat Chimaev. We have the world heavyweight champion of the world in boxing, Alexander Usyk. We have Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the best defenders in football in the world right now. Now, I'm a Man United fan, guys. I don't really like saying that. He's one of the best defenders, but he really is. We also have Darren Till, one of the future kind of possible menaces for the middleweight championship. We have one of the best welterweight MMA fighters in the world. We have another one of the best welterweight fighters in the world, and also one of the most popular MMA fighters in the world. We have guys, Muhammad Ali. I mean, what else do you really need? Do I even need to really go over these other athletes, guys? They have Muhammad Ali, possibly the biggest athlete in the world, or at least the most influential athlete in the world. Is also, I mean, obviously it's his family or people who are related to Muhammad Ali who are working with Blockasset already. You have Wayne Rooney, one of the biggest English players ever in football, and we have Michael Bisping, one of the best MMA fighters, a Hall of Famer of MMA, UFC. Okay guys, so next we're going to discuss what are actually social tokens and why are they important and how could they really transform the world. So what is actually a social token? Social token is, well, according to Google, it says it's an exchangeable asset tied to community affiliated with a content creator or brand. This part is actually a little bit more understandable. They are personalized cryptocurrencies, okay, like a token that you can buy, a currency similar to USD or Bitcoin or Ethereum, a personalized crypto currency that allow the community members that own this token to have to unlock specific engagements or experiences that are related to the community. Okay, so in Blockasset's case, as we've mentioned, because we're gonna have many athletes here, so basically if you're gonna own the athlete token of Alexander Usyk, for example, you're gonna be able to unlock specific experiences or engagement with this top athlete Alexander Usyk by just having these tokens. Okay, and let's say you wanna just get maybe a pair of gloves, or maybe you wanna have like a training session with him or something like that. It obviously depends on the athlete themselves and what exactly do they want to exchange in the NFT platform. But this is one of the main things that you're gonna be able to get from having the social token of each athlete, or not necessarily athlete, just celebrity or creator or any entertainer in general in the world of social tokens. Now, next, let's check. I just want to mention here that Blockasset team actually made a Twitter thread here. And look, guys, if you're familiar, Raoul Pal is one of the biggest macro investors of all time. He was investing I believe, since like the 80s, and was a really successful investor. And from approximately late 2020, beginning of 2021, he just went almost, I believe, full crypto, and he owns a large amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and he, you know, learns about crypto as much as possible. So one of the main interesting things that he said, that this is about the social tokens, guys. This is just the start. Social tokens are going to be the mass adoption of crypto. And once we will start to comprehend a little bit more and a little bit more what are really social tokens are about, you'll start to understand why this is like a tremendously better way to have an interaction between an athlete in the case of Blockasset, or any really person in general in the world of social tokens, with the community that they had, and how can they really work with them together and give them back, and how you can, even as a fan of an athlete or as a fan of a creator, how can you actually benefit with the success of your athlete. So, you know, so for example, if you have like a new football player that you really like, and you know you're strongly into football, and you know all the big talents in the world of football, and not all the people know about the big talent of a particular player that you know. So maybe you can buy his athlete token relatively in the beginning, when most of the world still don't know about it, but you can still grow together with this athlete. This is like really scratching the surface of social tokens, but this is one of the things that excite me a lot. So, as we said, that's one of the main things about social tokens. Now let's go over about some other social tokens and why Blockasset is actually one of the more exciting opportunities at this particular time in the beginning of June 2022 in the world of social tokens in crypto, especially now that we're having like a full-on bear market. So let's go back here, and I just wanted to show you guys this thing over here. So we're having here a comparison to other projects. Blockasset is currently vastly undervalued when compared to Chiliz. Chiliz is the biggest name in the world of social tokens, and there are another two examples here, Rally and XCAT. That's another two players in the social tokens world. As we've mentioned, they have already 120, excuse me, they signed athletes that many of them have like more than 100 million followers on social media like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. And this is crazy, guys. Look at this chart here. So this is the crypto market that so this is the value of the crypto market that they anticipate by CAGR. I believe this is probably a research group that has just did the forecast of how much value is going to be in crypto in the future. And I just want to tell you guys, like they say here 32 trillion by 2028. I just want to mention that right now this is only 1 trillion in 2022. At the time of recording of this video, the crypto market's value right now is 1 trillion only. Now, social token market share outside of this 1 trillion is approximately 0.17. Okay, and this is the this is the market cap that the research group is anticipating to have in 6 years from now. So, and obviously because social tokens are still very, very early, and most of the projects didn't still really develop the big kind of platform they want to develop, this number here, the percentage of the overall market, obviously can grow even further. Now, check this out. This is really the most important part now of this graph here. This is Chiliz, okay? The biggest project right now. Their market cap is 810 million market cap. Rally is 270 million market cap. XCAT, another really good project, that's 71 million, and I believe that's a little bit outdated. I believe they're now about 90 million. And Blockasset, guys, the project that we're covering today, is 6 million. That's the reason why it really like a 100x moon mission. You know, I don't like to be really crazy with the numbers, but 100x could be relatively conservative, or at least that's relatively likely, and we're gonna explain why here. But another thing I want to mention here, guys, that this is here from, I believe, May 31st. Okay, so this is like a week ago that this Twitter thread was written. And actually the Chiliz market cap all-time high, in fact, was actually 4 billion, okay? Because now we have a bear market, and the peak for Chiliz was actually like March, April 2021. So back then, like at like the really local bubble that they had, they were valued at 4 billion, and now they're valued 800 million because there's a bear market now. But in general, like there's already a social token platform that in a big bubble had already reached $4 billion worth of valuation, and Blockasset has like a tremendously much more higher potential than Chiliz, because it's a much more comprehensive platform than Chiliz is, even though Chiliz is another pretty good project. So guys, let's continue here. Now, I want to mention lastly just also about what is really the difference between Blockasset with other platform. Now, Chiliz, as we mentioned, it's a pretty good product, but just one of the main differences is that Blockasset is a little bit more of, I guess we can call it a pure Web3 project, and Chiliz is slightly different in the sense of that if you want to interact with Chiliz platform, you will have to use their centralized kind of wallet and centralized app, and you don't really control your social tokens and the experiences that you're going to be able to have. But in Blockasset's case, this is actually a non-custodial Web3 project, which means you will still own your NFTs, the NFT athletes that you're gonna have. You're gonna own your social tokens, and you're gonna be able to interact with the platform directly from your own wallet under your control, and still you're gonna be able to get all the experiences that you want with the athletes that you love and that you support. So another pretty good things in Blockasset's case is that because it was built on Solana, so first it's super quick, super easy UX and very easy to use. But another really important fundamental thing is that because Blockasset is the, as far as I know, the only sports NFT project on Solana right now, definitely by far the biggest and the most exciting one. And you see, because Solana already kind of achieved so much, and because it's a pretty large ecosystem already, and there are just so many new projects that keep developing more and more on Solana, the thing is that, you know, everything is open source, and any new project on Solana that is integrating something important that Blockasset can use, basically what it means is that Blockasset can actually develop much less themselves, and they can simply integrate with the open source code of the other Solana ecosystem projects, okay? And that's really important, because again, this is like the very beginning of what are gonna be the next big social tokens empires, okay? And just the fact that they're on Solana and can integrate other projects, it just means they'll have to develop relatively much less than other projects that are not on Solana, or other projects that cannot integrate so many other apps that are just saving a lot of time for Blockasset. Okay guys, so now that we understand the market cap opportunity of Blockasset if you compare it to other social tokens, let's have a look on the price analysis of the current chart, and also let's bear in mind that we're gonna have a new roadmap released very soon. So as we mentioned in other videos, in the bullish times of Block, we've been around the 30 cents, we dumped, then we had the hype of the Smash Bros brothers, and we had another dump from there. And the interesting thing is that, you know, we've had this trend line here that was holding here, a bearish trend line, and now we're kind of back to this trend line once again, and so far it's holding strong. It's going to be really interesting to check how would the roadmap affect the price. If it breaks this trend line here, it's going to be really interesting to check how it's going to continue fighting with the horizontal level here. And you know guys, normally roadmaps are really bullish for projects, so the interesting thing that we're gonna check is that we are in a bear market right now, and we are in bearish times for many crypto projects, but we're gonna have some bullish news for Blockasset, so it's gonna be really exciting to see what would happen with this trend line and then with this horizontal line. Okay guys, next in line, let's discuss the roadmap, the new updated roadmap by the Blockasset team for the next few quarters. So we have it over here. This is Q3, this is July until September 2022, and the next parts will, and this part will be October to December. So guys, one of the major things for the next quarter, we're gonna have a new NFT launched by Alexander Usyk, the world heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. And guys, if any of you watchers here, if you have never owned an NFT yet, that's your opportunity, guys, okay? Because you're gonna, you know, most of their NFT launches so far haven't really been, you know, like the 100,000 for the CryptoPunks that you've heard. You know, sometimes in the YouTube comments I see some people like thinking all the NFTs are worth like 100,000, 50,000, million. No guys, this is an early project, and this is like real utility going on here. I don't know exactly how much the launch for the Alexander Usyk NFT is gonna be, but I'm just gonna say that all of the launches that they've had up until now were worth normally under $500. Okay, so if it's gonna be worth like $300-400, something like that, $100 for you guys, check it out. This is a generative NFT collection for a heavyweight boxing champion Alexander Usyk, with profits going to charity in Ukraine, guys. He is the world heavyweight champion from Ukraine. So this is your opportunity, guys. You can buy a fantastic NFT of one of the best athletes in the world, and the money that you're gonna pay for the NFT is gonna go for the charity to support Ukraine. This is your opportunity, guys. If you've never owned an NFT before, this is the time, guys. Okay, let's continue. Also, they're gonna have a new asset store, which is gonna be a one-of-a-kind athlete merchandise and reward store. So basically, you're gonna earn new tokens that you can exchange for new merchandise or new experiences, new things of athletes in the store. That's gonna come out in Q3 2022. Next one that is also exciting for me is an athlete launchpad, the only place to find Blockasset athlete tokens and NFTs before they hit the market. So, you know, as we've mentioned, we're gonna have we have an NFT athletes right now, and we're gonna have an athlete token. Okay, and an athlete token is what you're gonna buy in order to exchange it for an experience with the athlete, like a training session or a FaceTime or anything that the athlete is really thinking about, like merchandise and signed things and things like that. So, like, obviously in the very beginning, the athlete token is not available right now. So anyone who has block tokens is gonna be able to stake the Blockasset tokens and participate in the launchpad, and they're gonna be the first ones who are gonna get the athlete tokens for the cheapest price. And then after the launchpad is executed, that's how the athlete tokens will be tradable in the future in Q4, which we're gonna get to pretty soon. We're gonna have even more athletes announced, many more big names that we even I still don't know about, and we still cannot know about them right now. And we are gonna have okay, so next one is gonna be Q4 2022, which is gonna start from October until December of 2022. So over here we're gonna have athlete NFT marketplace. So over here we're gonna be able to buy and trade licensed athlete NFTs with some yet to be revealed special features. So basically right now, if you want to buy an NFT for Blockasset, you have to go to third parties places like Magic Eden, and over here you can buy a Hamzat. Right now it's worth 5 Solana there until, and that's where you normally go to to buy NFTs for Blockassets right now. But in the future, they are planning to develop their own NFT marketplace that is also going to be integrated with the Solana marketplaces, and everything's going to be in one place, and you're going to be able to buy the NFT, the NFTs that you want in the marketplace of Blockasset. And also, I believe if you're gonna be holding block tokens, you're gonna be able to get a discount and buy the NFTs for cheaper. One of the most exciting really things about Q4 2022 is athlete hubs. Okay, so this is one of the major utilities that Blockasset are developing here, that is gonna in a way make them a little bit more kind of like Instagram or Twitter of the athlete world. So they call it the athlete hubs. Athlete NFTs, token trading, media, chat, socials, and experience store all in one place. That's basically gonna be a social media for any athlete to fan engagement thing, and it's gonna be in one place. You know, like this is the way the world is today. Everything's on Twitter, everything's on Instagram, everything's on Facebook, on TikTok. People want like one large platform like YouTube to have everything over they need over there. So anything athlete related is gonna be in this one big hub. You know, like this is gonna be social media, guys. This is gonna be really serious stuff. But just Web3, you're gonna own your own access to your account, and not anybody else is gonna own your own data. So this is a really major thing. And also really important, you're gonna be able to trade the athlete tokens for Block or to some other athlete. Let's say you have like Khamzat Chimaev tokens and you have many tokens of Khamzat, but maybe you want an experience with Darren Till, so you can exchange your Khamzat tokens to Darren Till token, and then you can buy an experience with Darren Till, and it's gonna be much more easier like that. 2023, it looks like they're even planning to have a mobile app because the world goes mobile, so obviously that's going to be really, really important. Okay guys, so now after we've covered the roadmap, let's even look a little bit more like in the longer time horizons that we have for Blockasset, and we're going to start with these two articles that I'm going to link in this description below, so definitely check this out to read it more comprehensively. So let's start with the market potential. So 2020 saw the emergence of fan tokens. Chili's, as we've mentioned, has reached like a 4 billion market cap by leading the way, creating fan tokens for football clubs like Real Madrid, Juventus, Arsenal, and a few more. And the daily volume for Atletico Madrid, for example, was averaging $5 million in one day. With multiple tokens and even stronger utility, we see huge potential for Blockasset exchange. The foundations are in place for fan tokens to take over in the coming years. So basically Blockasset is gonna be really, gonna be a bit different from Chili's because it's gonna create a platform where it's really sort of the social media hub place for anything related to interactions with athletes. And I would not go into this in this video, but Chili's is a little bit different because Blockasset is basically gonna provide you a more personalized experience with the athletes that you're a fan of. So yeah, this is a big one, guys. So this is the demographics. More and more young people are looking to invest their money than ever before, highlighted by the 2020 meme stock phenomenon, if you guys remember, with the GameStop mainly, that introduced millions to the stock market. Now young people are open-minded to new investments, and crypto being the leading option. So check this out, guys. In the US, the crypto ownership more than doubled from 2020 to 2021. And it's predicted to maintain its parabolic growth over the next decade. The interesting thing here about the correlation between the sports world and the crypto world is because basically crypto people are normally relatively young people. You see, normally they are under the age of 34, and also sports fans are normally pretty young people. So this is like a perfect marriage here. From the sports side of people and the crypto people. And you know, guys, I want to really stop here for a second about this part here. Now, one of the exciting reasons, one of the really exciting reasons right now to you know, get involved with the block is because right now there is some sort of a discrepancy. Okay, right now you kind of have the crypto people on one end, and you have the sports people on the other end. Now the crypto people, they're kind of, first of all, there's a bear market, so they're selling right now a lot, and it's kind of not really easy being a crypto person right now. But on the other hand, you have the sports people, and many of them are still don't really comprehend crypto exactly, or maybe some of them own crypto, but they don't understand crypto yet at the in-depth level that we're discussing here. So this is the opportunity, guys. To put it like this, you have the crypto people and you have the sports people, and like, these people kind of don't know about Blockasset yet because the sports people don't understand crypto well enough, and the crypto people are still kind of in the bear market situation, and most of them still don't know about Blockasset. Okay, guys, so this is the vision of Blockasset in the Blockasset white paper here. So they see a future where all creators, entertainers, and athletes interact and organize their communities via individual tokenized economies. Fans will trade tokens not only for profit, but for access to an athlete time and unique experience not found anywhere else. Fans will create super fan, guys, this is like a really big one, but fans will create super fan communities, which will eventually form into decentralized autonomous organizations. Athletes will lean on these fans during the ups and downs of their careers, and even hire DAOs as their representatives, replacing traditional managers and agents. Guys, this is really a major long-term thing. If this happens, this is gonna be a huge revolution for all the world of sports. Social media will shift from a consumer and attention-focused ethos to a community and reward focused standard, Blockasset will lead the way. This part basically says that instead of like kind of trying to harness attention, similarly to what apps like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok are doing right now, the shift is gonna happen like more kind of to a community and to kind of reward the people who are helping more the community. So let's say an athlete is gonna have a DAO and is gonna have a community, and let's say you have a few fans that are kind of assisting even more in this community and kind of giving a lot of ideas how to get the athlete more popular, or maybe other things that could help the athlete. So then the athlete would have like the ecosystem to reward these particular fans that are helping him even more, to reward them even in a bigger way. And that's gonna be fundamentally very different from the attention kind of focused way that we have right now with Twitter and Facebook. So Blockasset will have established partnerships with a number of organizations, agencies, and athletes, with the ability to onboard new athletes and fans at any time. Fans will visit Blockasset just as they do now on Twitter or Instagram to catch up on their favorite athletes. This is gonna be the athlete hub that we've discussed. And guys, if Blockasset is successful doing that, it's gonna be a huge ecosystem, and I mean it's gonna be even more. It's gonna be even more than 100x, guys. If this is gonna be successful, this is gonna be huge. Okay, that's another interesting one. So athletes will be able to log into the platform such as Blockasset and spend time with their fans. It's gonna be fundamentally different from the way Instagram or TikTok operate right now, that they have kind of a shallow posts and they don't really interact a lot with their fans. They just do some little post and some picture and just some people respond to this, so okay, I mean that's Web 2, that's definitely been revolutionary for 2010, 2011, but in this decade athletes are going to be able to log into the platforms and spend a much more engaged time with their fans. Okay guys, now let's go over the block token utilities. Now the exciting thing is that most of these utilities, if not all, are still not available, and they're gonna be available within the next half a year. And that's why right now the price could be really undervalued, but once we have more and more utilities and more people need to buy block token to achieve what they want, we will have more and more buy pressure, and block will appreciate more and more in price over time. So the block token is going to be the main trading pair for all athlete tokens. Block is going to be locked into a bonding curve with the athlete token. So in Blockasset athletes have hundreds of millions of combined followers. So if the followers would want to purchase athlete experience, they would need to purchase block token first and then to buy the athlete token. That results in huge buy pressure for block, and block will be locked into the bonding curve, reducing even more supply. Okay, so with Blockasset being a crypto and a Web3 project, by owning block token, you're actually going to be able to participate in the governance of the project, and you're going to be owning the network together with everyone else who are owning block, and you're going to be able to affect the decision and the course of the platform and the project that Blockasset are building. And even kind of cool stuff like athlete content that Blockasset are producing. And Blockasset, they have millions of views already, and they had crazy reception for Smash Bros. So if you haven't checked it out, guys, definitely check this out. You have the block party here with major athletes or major people like Dana White joining the Blockasset block party. And before that, we've had the block access Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure many of you, and maybe all of you, have checked it already, but guys, this just broke the internet. This was like one of the biggest things in MMA in the last few years, with this kind of crazy bromance between Khamzat Chimaev and Darren Till. This has broken the internet, and just look at the amount of views that this has had. This is just the beginning, and they're planning to have much more things like that. And once they're gonna have the athlete hub, you're even gonna be able to see things like that in the athlete hub, and then affect the content that they're gonna produce via the governance that you have from the block token. So let's continue. So block holders will have priority access to athlete IDOs. IDO means initial DEX offering. And guys, if you remember in the roadmap that we saw, in Q3, we're gonna have this athlete launchpad. And basically, if you're anybody who would want to buy new athlete tokens before they're available for a cheaper price, they're gonna have to buy even more block tokens. People, if they would want to have first access for the athlete tokens, they will have to get it by locking block, staking it and participating in the launchpad in order to get the, let's say, Hamzat or Darren Till new athlete tokens. The IDOs will be happening with block, so people will need to buy even more block to get their athlete token allocation. With that, athletes having hundreds of millions of followers, guys, imagine it. If just a small percentage, let's just say 1% or even 0.5% of all of the followers at the social media of the athletes, if they will just want to buy block for for the athlete IDOs, this will cause more huge buy pressure for block. Okay guys, now let's just sum up this this part here. Demand by pressure, reduce supply, and more demand, and this cycle will continue and continue. So Blockasset have athletes that have hundreds of millions of followers in their social media accounts. And as we've mentioned, so the athletes are gonna launch their token on the launchpad. And as we said, 50% of the supply is gonna be locked forever after the IDO. Then, of course, this is not the end, this is just the beginning. Then we're gonna have the trading starting in Q4. Then once trading starts in Q4, the athlete tokens are gonna be available to trade here. But if anybody wants to buy a particular, let's say, Hamzat athlete token, you will have to first buy block. And then this block that they buy will be locked with this athlete token, and basically it's gonna increase the price of both block and the athlete token together. And then as more and more new athletes join the ecosystem, they will have to launch their token in the IDO, and then another 50% plus of block tokens will be locked forever. And after that, they'll have their athlete token also join here. So basically you will have more and more athlete tokens paired with block, and the block will be locked to the curve together with the athlete token, and more people will always have to first go from the block route, and then they'll get the athlete token that they want, and then they'll be able to buy the athlete experience that they want. But as the ecosystem grows, you have more and more athletes, and they have their athlete tokens. All the people, all the new people that will keep coming to the ecosystem, they will have to first buy the block token, then the athlete token, and then they'll get the athlete experience that they want. But the block will always be the first one, and they will have to buy even more and more block in the open market. Now, with that being said, I think it's not a bad opportunity to check where can you actually get, where can you actually buy the Blockasset token. So currently Blockasset is available on 3 exchanges. It's available on Gate.io, PancakeSwap, and Radium. But honestly guys, I personally use only Radium because this is on Solana blockchain. This is on a BSC network, and this is on a centralized exchange. Radium currently has the largest liquidity. If you're gonna be using Radium, I would suggest you can just buy Solana on one of the larger exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, and then you can transfer it to your Solana Phantom wallet. Once you have the Solana Phantom wallet, you can connect it here to Radium, and this is the Radium decentralized exchange. Now I have another Radium tutorial video that you can check briefly how to use this how to use the Radium exchange in case you haven't used it before, and it's gonna be plain simple. All you'll need to do is just transfer Solana to your Phantom wallet that you're gonna be getting first on Coinbase or on Binance, and then you can buy Blockasset here on Radium. So I was AR7. If you've gained value today, if you've learned something new and you enjoyed the overview of the Blockasset project, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because still so much more is gonna be coming up. And if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below, and I'm gonna answer all the comments that I'm gonna see. I was AR7 once again. Thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, and cheers guys.